Okay, we're trying this again. Right, I was on it yesterday. No, I've done it this morning. I've done like 5 videos. I've tried to upload them and they won't upload. So I'm going to see if I can do this all in one. I've had a beautiful day today. I'm going to post the cards that came out, but I'm going to show you the connection today. This is the true ladder. So there's the ladder, and we're going to show the connections to the Quran today, right? The first one is Surah 54, the moon, and this is absolutely beautiful. When we look at this, this is the first statement, this is the first verse, and this is going to link into prophecy and link directly into what's going on at the moment now. So it says, so we've got in the first column 949415. Surah 54, read from page 491 to the end on page 495. First column, second column, absolutely perfect. 499415. And the first verse, this is, and we're going to link the 55 at the bottom. So this goes from verse 1 and ends on verse 55. And the first statement is, the hour has come near and the moon has split in two. And I'm saying at this time, they're saying there's a second moon next to our moon. So can this statement be read as, the hour has come near and the moon has split in two, or there are two moons? Verse 1, that's verse 1, and read all the way to the end, verse 55. In the seat of honor, near a sovereign, perfect in ability. So that link is absolutely crystal clear, and I'm saying this is in full effect at this moment, because they've just said there's a second moon by our moon, and this first verse says the hour has come near and the moon has split in two. There are two. That's a very close for at this time, and I'm sure it was either this week or last week where they said there was a second moon, and this is saying the moon is split in two. I'm seeing that as two moons. So I think I'm exactly in the right place, and we can see the numbers. Page 491, Surah 54, to the end, page 495. That's absolutely crystal clear, that first line, all the way down. Then we're going to add to this. So in the middle, we've got 71 and 74. We know that is hexagram 17, reading from page, hexagram 17, reading from page 71, to the end on page 74. So this is at the center. This is in the middle of the lay at the bottom. Following. What are we following? we're following the moon cycles and we're following the sun cycles. So that following is clear. That following sits in the middle. These two books are linked. There's no getting away from that. That's absolutely perfect. Then we're going to link to this. The next one is Surah 55. So we're going to 55. The most merciful. And this reads from page 496. 496. Surah 55. We've got 496, 469. That block there is that first number, 496. Read to the end on page 499. And we've got our 499. So again, Surah, the most merciful, is mathematically correct in this lay from front to back. From front to back. Then we're going to link to that Surah 56. Surah 56 starts on page 500. We've got the 5 at the bottom. We can add 2 zeros, that adds nothing. So the 2 zeros are symbolic. They always add to the number in front, but they add nothing, but they add to the number that they're following. So any zero that follows a number adds something, but it adds nothing because it's 0, but it adds something to the number in front, and that's how we're taking it. So we read from page 500, we could say 5, occurrence, and read to the end of that surah on page 505. 5 again equals 10. 0 1. The 0 can sit in the middle. You know what I mean? But it's 5 5. So we're linking that surah. That's 100%. And then we're going to go to 57. Surah 57 starts on page 506. Again, we've got 5 and 6. We've got 5 and 6. This surah is called Iron. I haven't read all of these yet. This is just showing the math of where we are to read, of the link that where we are to read. So we've got 5 and 6. Read Iron to the end on page 510. We've got 5 6 and 5 1 0. 5 plus 5 equals 10. 5 1 0. Well, yeah. Speak for yourselves, doesn't it? Yeah. So we're adding that surah. Then we're linking Surah 58, the contention, and this reads from page 511. We've got our, as you can see, we've got our 511. So we read from page 511 to the end on page 515, which again is our last outcome number. 5 plus 5 equals 10. 0 1. We've got the 1. 5 5 1. It's 5 1 5. Again, that's mathematically correct. We're in the right space. So we're going to read that the contention, and then we're going to add, and then the last link I'm making is Surah 76, man. Read from page 585, and we can see directly again 585. So we're going to have that, and then read to the end on page 588, and we've got our, and don't forget, we know that our 8 and 11 is interchangeable, so we can go, but we've also got our outer 8, sorry, because 7 plus 1 equals 8. So we've got our 588. So we've got how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. About 5 surahs to read. All of that can be read. Again, I'm not going to read the book as if I'm some kind of imam and I can explain all of the things that are in this book. But what I can say is that this is where we are to read from now. I say this timeline is in full effect now. Just because of that statement, of that first, because of that first line statement about the moon, and obviously we're watching the news again. I haven't got a TV. I've heard that this is what's going on about this moon, that there's a second moon, and that statement for me, it shows that, listen, this is the timeline. This timeline of the Quran is in full effect now. There is no other way of looking at that. That is prophecy. I would say that must link to prophecy. They've said there's a second moon in the sky. The statement in the Quran, the first verse of Surah 54, the moon, the hour has come near and the moon has split into. I am taking that as, that's 2 moons. If one moon splits in 2, that means there's going to be 2 moons. Or something, they're saying something's come in, an asteroid's come in, and it's parked itself by the moon. So there's 2 moons. That statement is correct. That statement is correct. You can't get away from that. There's no getting away from that. That statement is absolutely correct. So I say this timeline is in full effect from now, and we're moving forward in the right space. We're in the right place. There's no other way. We are in the right space. So I'm really pleased with that. I'm extremely pleased with that, because again, it shows that this system is absolutely on point. There's no getting away from that. This system is correct to the books. For doing these tarot cards to the books, you can't tell me that that's not right. That is absolutely right. Not only to the book, but it's actually right to the time space factual that we are in now. That the reality has said these events are happening now. The book confirms the actual events that these people are saying are happening now. Or these people that have said there's a moon by our moon are confirming what the book says. The hour has come there and the moon has split in 2. So either the book's correct and they're confirming the book, or they're correct, or the book's correct and they're confirming the book. You cannot in any way dismiss that and say that that is not the case. The book and the events playing out now in the reality confirm each other. One confirms the other. It's not up for debate. And the key to that is the tarot. So I'm going to show the tarot lay. I would need you, I need you to get your Quran, and I want you to start reading from Surah 54. You are going to glean what you take out of it. I've read 54, I've read 55. I'm in the process of reading the rest of the surahs, and obviously to get my understanding and to find out where I'm at and how I'm moving forward. Again, we link back to the I Ching. We're reading following, you know what I mean? And again, we're trying to follow the Most High. We're trying to follow our intuition. Again, for me, the following is of the moon, because we also have our 31 and our 22. 31 reversed is 13. That's the moon. Again, we link 13 death card and 18 moon as interchangeable cards. You can interchange those cards. They both have they both represent the same kind of thing. 22 also represents the moon, the sun. 22, I link this to the 22nd of August, the sun's day. The sun does not get any higher than the 22nd of August. So 22 represents the sun. And then we see in the lower outcome, the 22 above the 19. Yeah, well, 19 in the tarot is the sun. So yeah, we've got the sun and the moon, sun and moon. We're going back to Egypt. Those are the two heavenly lights. Those are the two main lights. And that's where we're at. These two main lights have come into balance. Is it that this second moon is to balance out the moon with the sun? Because again, I think we've been in this age or this time where we're very unbalanced, and we're unbalanced because of the moon. Okay, we can go into a lot of other things when we can think about what David Icke said, you know what I mean, that the moon is hollow and things like that. Again, I think David's on it, do you know what I mean? David ain't no idiot, mate. He's been doing this for a bit. So it might be that this other asteroid moon thing has come in to balance the moon, because it is the moon's light that unbalances the kind of psychology. Again, we're linking this where me in the dream space, I'm more or less the same as I am in this space. So I know what's going on in my dream world because I'm under moonlight. I would consider myself as a moon emperor. You got sun emperors and moon emperors. I'm both a sun emperor and a moon emperor. Why? Because we can bring information from the dream space, correct, through to this space. So we can take information from the moon and bring it through into sunlight and make it understandable. Again, the tarot. We can lay the cards, and the cards lead to information that is directly in the reality and pertinent to the reality and to the time. You cannot get away from that. That statement is, we are absolutely on point with our timing. There's no getting away from that. The statement speaks for itself. So I'm very pleased with this lay. And I would say, please get the Quran and read. Get the I Ching, read. I'm trying to see if there's any other links here. Again, I'm going to make sure to clarify this, I'm going to say, well, someone could say, well, why isn't it Surah 75? Well, it's Surah 57 and it's not 75. Why? Because if we go to Surah 75, it starts on page, but Surah 75 is the resurrection, but it starts on page 582. Starts on page, you see that? 582, Surah 75. Well, it can't be 582 because if we look at the lay, there are no number 2s or number 3s in any of the outcome numbers. There are no, look, and obviously you can see there are no 2s or no 3s in the outcome numbers. So it can't be Surah 75 because it starts on page 582. There's no 2, doesn't work. It ends on page 584. Well, there's no direct link to a 5. We've got 58, but that 4's up there. And we've got 58, and there's a 4 there, but 58. It's not like you couldn't line it. You couldn't do a straight line to it. So for me, that's incorrect because I need to be able to do straight lines. I know that one's slanted, but it's a straight slanted line. Do you know what I mean? Like it's got to be a straight line. I don't like it going all squiff and that because we want direct information, infallible, direct, cannot be argued with. Straight lines. You can't argue with a straight line, can you? You know what I mean? It's in alignment. We are truly in alignment. The numbers are in alignment. I'm in alignment with this book. So that shows that, see, I'm in alignment with this book. I'm in alignment with this book. I haven't looked for a Zohar link. I'm not sure. There probably will be, or there might be a Zohar link in here, but I'm thinking this is more the Quran and the I Ching. Yes, this is, we could say, an Eastern book and a Middle Eastern book, but in terms of the earth, this is just all the East, and you would assume that there must be a connection between Eastern and Middle Eastern people, like they're not that far away from each other. And if we take the timeline back, a lot of interaction between those, a lot of their philosophies and understandings and trade and everything. Well, yeah, we'd think that their information has to be closely linked. You know what I mean? That's like, it's got to be closely linked, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? So that to me is supportive of information from the East. Do you know what I mean? Even though the Zohar is also Eastern, in it, you would cast that as East. I think. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't think you'd cast kind of Jerusalem or like Israel as. And again, don't forget, we know that the Zohar really, the original root work of that is really coming out of Egypt, really. Do you know what I mean? It's more coming. It's a book that's, the knowledge has travelled from there over to that way. So again, all of this information, we know the source. Yeah, we know the brothers are the source. Do you know what I mean? So we can understand how all of this information should really be linked. There shouldn't really be any kind of conflict between this information, because we know the root source of this information can't have been all of the different peoples that claim that they're, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to go into that too much, man, but we know, I think I know why this links, do you know what I mean? Because it's one root, it's one root book. The only other link I'm thinking is there is an 88 here, but it's not a direct 88. Yes, I want to link that to the Kebra Nagast, the Ethiopian Bible. And again, also, we always link all of the star constellations and Surah 53, which we're not going to, but let me just check. So, and Surah 53 is the star. I'm not, again, we've got no 3s in the outcome. So we can't link Surah 53 because there's no threes in the outcome. But I think it is to do, I think we are in the right space of linking stars, the star, moon, that I would like to predict or assume that at some point in the future, a surah has to come out for the sun. There has to be I will do a lay, and then we would hope that one of the number combinations that's going to come out in that is going to link to either Surah 53 star or the surah that links to the sun. Because again, those are the three main aspects of all the information that comes down to us. It comes down through the sun, moon, and stars. So I am really, really, really happy with this link. Just from, and again, we've got all of these number combinations, and I've got a link in as well. This 64. Well, there are 64. There are 64 hexagrams in the I Ching. The last hexagram is 64 before completion. And again, we saw this the other day, before completion. Well, yeah, before the completion of the cycle, before the completion of the solar cycle, before the completion of the lunar cycle, before completion of the star zodiac cycle. We're about 3 months before the end of the cycle. We're in October, November, December. It's getting closer. Do you know what I mean? I was going to say, we were nearly close to 64 days, aren't we? Do you know what I mean? Because we're 231, 62. So we're not far off this 64 days, you know what I mean, of getting to the end of the cycle. But we're going to link this 64 as the 64 hexagrams. And again, 64 is 8 times 8. Again, we've had angel numbers of 888. Then we've got the 49, 7 times 7. We look at yesterday's lay, the one that we done with all the angel numbers, 777, 666, 999, 333. So again, that's a carryover. We've got the 777. Well, it's 7 times 7, isn't it? Equals 49. So this is showing the link to the last lay. What else? And again, we've got a lot of the double numbers, 56, 65, 59, 95, 57. But again, we know what it links to. It links to the Quran directly. It's not really, it's not debatable. Do you know what I mean? It really isn't debatable. This is the code and the pattern, because it's every day we do it. There is no coincidence now. We're not even, the word coincidence is not to be used at any point. This is a pattern. We've ordered the pattern. We've got the pattern. So I'm really pleased. I'm really pleased with that. That's like, I'm stunned with that statement. That statement has just shocked me. Do you know what I mean? Because it's actually happening now. As we speak, that statement is happening now. This book is extremely, extremely credible. This book is valid. So the book is valid. I don't care what anyone says. The book's 1,000,000% valid. Same as the I Ching, 1,000,000% valid. Same as the Zohar, 1,000,000% valid. I can't. I'm just like, I am in shock of reading a statement written. What are we saying? Written over 1,500 years ago. We say 1800s, but I'm always being conservative because I don't want to upset anyone. But that statement is actually in full effect now, according to the reality according to the TV, I haven't even got a TV. According to the TV and what these people are saying, that statement is prophecy fulfilled, mate. There is no getting away from that. That is prophecy fulfilled, because you can take it as the moon splitting in two, or you can take it as two moons. That's what they're saying in the sky. So I'm going to end it there. I'm going to get back to you with the lay. I'm just going to photo it and put it on the post. But please subscribe. Let's try and get this moving, because I think this is valid, 100% valid, and we want to be on the right timeline. And I say the timeline starts now. So please subscribe. Thank you.